Welcome to the Cryptonomatron channel, and today I've got a sore throat. No, today I am going to do a review on Vestarin. Vestarin is a cryptocurrency marketplace for goods and services that you'll be able to list your business on. You'll be able to pay for services with Vestarin as well. Their aim is roughly to unite a lot of cryptocurrency enthusiasts in the same place. And a lot of people, as you know, there's over 500 billion in the market cap at the moment. A lot of people don't want to cash out into fiat every time they want to use a service or buy something or have to spend money. They want to keep their crypto and spend in crypto, so Vestarin will allow them to do that. So as to competition, it's quite robust in this sector. There are a lot of companies trying to do marketplaces on the blockchain. One of them most recently is Inc Protocol. However, Inc are a payment service for the Listia marketplace, which is already existing. It's been going since 2009. And a lot of them are struggling to compete against the Goliaths like eBay and Amazon and some others like Lazada. But it's early days in the space at the moment, and only time will tell whether the blockchain-based marketplaces can take off. And those specifically using cryptocurrency will have an advantage in the cryptocurrency enthusiast community. So, even if eBay decided to accept crypto, it's more likely that a blockchain marketplace will get the lion's share of crypto enthusiasts. However, nothing's set in stone. So Listia is one, using the Inc protocol as their payment service. Another one that I found is Syscoin. And Syscoin is a fully decentralized marketplace, peer-to-peer payments, etc., wallet. And another one is Storica, which is actually just on ICO at the moment. And again, another crypto marketplace, stores, offline stores, 45 million goods digitized and payments in crypto. No extra fees, fake reviews, they say. So very similar plan. The one thing that separates Vestarin, I'm dropping everything all over the place here. The one thing that separates Vestarin from the rest is probably the fact that they are going to deal in ICO startups as well and make them more secure. So again, they're spreading their business plan over a number of sectors, and they've got competition in that sector as well, not least of all CoinMetro. As we can see here, I've just purchased some CoinMetro. That's not a hint for you to go and do so. It's just I've just taken advantage of a flash sale as I missed the pre-sale in this one. So I thought I might just pick a few $100s worth up. But CoinMetro intend to be a platform to launch your ICOs off so that you can start up your new blockchain business. And if you're going to launch an ICO, you can do it on a platform like CoinMetro, much the same as what Vestarin plans to do with their platform as well. And the reason for that is to offer prospective contributors or investors a level of security that is not currently available with standalone projects. And what I mean by that is they can do all the due diligence for you. It's just up to yourself whether you want to read through the material on the website and then make a decision to invest. So, it will weed out the fake and scam projects that are out there. At least that's what they want to do in theory. So the problems they want to solve are fivefold. The first one is ICO investment problems. The second one is startup problems. The third one, cryptocurrency holders problems. The fourth one, language problems. And they have some in the white paper, I'll tell you that. They are boasting that they're going to have their app in 30 odd languages, but the English in the white paper is pretty poor. It's not easy to understand. It doesn't appear very well written. And number 5 is an information problem in solving. So let's take a look at these 5 problems that they intend to solve one by one. So the first problem that they're going to address is the ICO investment problem. And basically, they say that ICOs are easy to take people's money, but there's no guarantee of the continuation of the business after the funds have been raised. and this causes the token price to rise when it hits the exchange, and then maybe a few high yield days, and then a complete breakdown in the token price in some cases. Not obviously always the case. Certainly in some cases this does happen. The confidence is a problem, confidence in the industry, and they see this going forward in the sense of a bubble, in that people, if this happens too often with too many ICO projects, the ICO sphere will lose credibility, if you like, and investment will cease. So their solution to this problem is to have a marketplace for ICOs, and they are going to cooperate with the ICO runners with a team of experts like specialists, developers, investors, etc., to weed out the garbage ICOs and only allow decent, well-presented and bona fide ICOs to be on their platform. And there'll be a review platform, there will be a assessment, and this will all contribute to the ICO and the ICO's legitimacy on the platform. So, this will help in terms of legitimizing a project. However, will this actually be better than any of the other platforms that we have currently? There is no guarantee that a team will continue to work on a project if the ICO is a success or a failure. There is no absolute guarantee of that. It's all due diligence. I prefer to do my own due diligence. You might prefer to do yours, and you should do. Giving it to a bunch of experts and then just taking their word for it might not be the best idea. So the other problem is a startup problem. So their anecdote here is a little genius writing some code, invents something pretty cool, but he needs investments and he needs a team. He needs people on board to implement, and it's very difficult to do so, especially for younger people with no business acumen. And running your own startup is something that a lot of people are scared to do. It's intimidating. It's very difficult. So what are Vestarin going to do? Well, Vestarin are going to allow small startups, individuals, small companies, small businesses to find investors and find a team that can bring your product to the market. Again, with the help of the specialists that they'll have on board through the platform. So I quite like this idea that, because it is a problem, it is a real world problem they're trying to solve. I quite like this idea that they're going to bring people together so that you can get your project off the ground. I think it's a good idea, and it's something that would make it a lot easier if you have a good business idea, but you are short on the implementation, which is the biggest problem usually when it comes to business and startups. Then this will allow you to find the people that you need without having the hassle of doing so. You go straight to one platform, on the Vestarin platform, and find your team, and potentially find investors and other specialists that may not be in your area, may not even exist in your city, for example. So it opens up a whole new opportunity for startups and small businesses. So another problem is the cryptocurrency holder problem, they call it. And to describe this, the problem is basically you can't spend your tokens. In most cases you have your wallets, as I do. I have my assets in my wallets, I have my tokens, my coins from different projects, different ICOs, different cryptocurrencies, and I can't really spend them. They're just they're non-liquid within my wallets or on the exchanges. You can change them for other cryptocurrencies, but that's all you can really do with them. Now, that's a problem in itself, because we need to spend money, of course, we need to survive, we need to buy things every day, and it's difficult to do it with cryptocurrency at the moment. It's a problem. So they want to basically have a marketplace where other stores that are willing to accept cryptocurrency can do so very easily on this marketplace. So it allows some sort of liquidity of your crypto. In the beginning, they're going to start with the VST, the Vestarin token, of course, and that will perform all the transactions on the marketplace, and I think they've got a vision to move forward to using more crypto in the future, having an exchange and everything else integrated into it. So it will hopefully be a platform where you can buy anything you want using crypto without having to cash out into fiat, you know, and all the problems that brings along, the fees, the hassle. You know, we've really got to look at simplifying the whole cryptocurrency business and normalize it as well. Make sure that people can actually use crypto, you know, in a normal way. You know, and get rid of these parasites like PayPal and the bank services, Visa, MasterCard, that are making money from essentially allowing you to use their service to purchase goods. So let's hope that cryptocurrency can be easily used in the near future, and Vestarin intends to do that through their marketplace, where hopefully we will have a multitude of shops, a multitude of sellers, even peer-to-peer sellers. You know, a cryptocurrency enthusiast marketplace is what they're trying to do, with obviously an intention of allowing you to use your cryptocurrency in you know, in the right way to buy and sell products and services. So another problem, and I had a little rant about it a moment ago, was the language problem and solving. Now this white paper is actually written by a non-English speaker. I have to comment on that. But you know, get a proofreader, you know, to change a few things around. You know, make it a little bit more polished for a potential investor. You know, I appreciate your effort in writing it, but you know, get somebody on. It doesn't cost a lot of money. You know, maybe one of your team could have done it, just read through it and just changed a few things. The grammar is not the best. There are a few spelling mistakes, as I pointed out before. So the language problem, they say, is an issue, and of course most of the stuff is in English, and that's not really that great for a multilingual community. So the Vestarin intend to open up the platform to a lot of languages, and again, you'll be able to switch languages, and you can also translate, and there'll be a geo function, so you can look for different languages and different places. And their list is here. Again, you know, there are several. The more the better, the more the merrier, I think. And this will obviously solve the problem of non-English speakers being able to use the platform. There will be a lot of options for English speakers, more than there will be for Hindi speakers, for example, or Spanish speakers. But you know, integrating all the languages means you've got a bigger market to aim at. The other problem, the final problem that they list, is the information problem. Now, it's quite vague, but they are saying there's too much information and resources with info about blockchain technologies. But it goes into scope that's unnecessary. It's out with what you're looking for. So what they intend to do to solve this problem is to aggregate the sources based on useful information by categories and sections, and they will aggregate the most relevant topics basically in the articles section. So you will effectively get the information that you're looking for, and all the residual rubbish that it turns up in search engines will be disregarded, or at least lower down the list. So their aims are to build a decentralized marketplace with the ability for people to spend cryptocurrency for goods and services. So from the user's point of view, you will be able to perform payments for goods and services with your crypto. You can gather a team together to create and launch a project if you're an innovator or an entrepreneur or even a small business. You can communicate and send coins via an app chat. You can invest in ICOs with minimal risks. You can convert cryptocurrency at reliable exchange points. You can join a team of experts, and you can also learn about new blockchain platforms and leading innovations. And if you're a business, you can integrate your own business into the platform and earn profit if you're just a store, a restaurant, a service, entertainment, if you're an exchange, for example, or even if you want to launch an ICO, or you're just a source of information. So moving on to the market,
They say that because the capitalization, the market cap of crypto is now over 500 billion, I think it's at 540, 550 billion today, that there is a viable business here. Now, they want to have over 10 million users in a year's time, and they want to have spent over 1 billion on purchases, those users, and they want to have a market cap of 50 million in their product. So where are they going to get this from? Well, we don't know. There are no facts and figures mentioned here. There are no studies conducted. This just seems like figures that have been pulled out of thin air and posted on the website as some sort of guide to potential investors as to what can be achieved. However, without any actual calculations or market analysis being presented to us, I think we've got to take these figures with a pinch of salt. The other thing we have to look at when assessing the potential market for Vestarin is the multilingual capability that they're intending to introduce. So they're going to have the user-friendly interface with multiple languages, as we can see, and that will obviously expand the market to non-English speaking people and countries. So I couldn't find any information about which blockchain they were going to use, but they are going to use smart contracts, and obviously they will require those to have a marketplace to do what they say they want to do. Now they're going to charge fees, obviously, so they have a way of actually earning some money. I think it's 5% they mention here. They've got an ICO integration fee, so if you actually use their platform to launch your ICO, then they will charge you for that. They will also use you for using the exchanger as well, and you can see here the way it works. Now, I would like to have known more about the technology, but obviously I think they're just trying to raise money to build a prototype at the moment. They don't actually have any blockchain technology, so essentially this is a purely white paper ICO. As such, the risk of investing in this is very high, and it will be marked accordingly in my verdict. As they don't have any minimal viable product already, even if they had something that was built, or some sort of demo or prototype, it would be far better for us to have a look at this. As such, their description of how they're going to use the blockchain is very, very basic, and no technology is mentioned really at all. There are ways that they say how they're going to earn money, again by integrating offline shops and entertainment services, etc., etc. So it probably would have been more encouraging for me as an investor to see they'd actually built something before trying to raise some money. And given the size of the team that they have and the ambition that they've got in this project, they really should have some sort of demo or some sort of prototype that we can check out before we're going to stick money into this. So there's not much to talk about technology-wise, as there's nothing being released by the company to let us know what they're doing, other than their goals and ambitions. And so I'll just break it down as follows. The owners of shops, services, exchange points, etc. can integrate their businesses into the Vestarin platform, and users can then make purchases and pay for services with the VST token. Also, ICO reps can integrate their projects into the platform, and users can estimate and discuss them in public to create reputation, or otherwise, as the case may be. And that will enable investors to rely on the word of the community, so to speak. They will also offer the users the set of latest technologies and hot news of cryptocurrency from dozens of sources for a worldwide audience. And they say that their blockchain technology professionals and crypto gizmos will have a joint platform for co-working. You'll be able to recruit, so to speak, different specialists, I suppose, in the area of blockchain to work on your project as well. So the way the platform is going to earn, they're going to make 5% from every aspect of their business, from the integrated online and offline shops, from the cash flow, and I see that they've repeated the 5% here and here, so I don't know whether they've noticed that or whether that's a mistake. They're going to have 5% from integrated establishments as well, and 5% from any integrated entertainments that are on the platform. Plus there will be fixed unique bet for ICO integrations, and a fixed monthly bet for the exchange points as well. So they are quite focused on the investors getting value for money and actually making some money on the tokens. So I guess in one way it's quite reassuring that they are looking at the potential of the token, so that they're not just looking to raise money and build their platform, they're actually thinking about the investors as well. And what they're going to do is they're going to allocate part of the accumulated commissions of the 5% to an asset contract, and then they're going to do a purchase of tokens from the exchanges, which they will then burn. So that's a interesting model, a buyback and burn they're talking about here, and they believe that this will allow the rarity of the tokens after they burn them to increase the value of the remaining tokens, which will support the growth of the token value. So the token use of the platform. Users can buy or sell goods or services, obviously, using the VST token. You can send money through a chat app, and that will enable many other features such as paying specialists or paying developers. And you can use the exchangers to buy other cryptocurrencies. So there will be exchangers on the platform eventually that will allow you to trade using the VST token as well. You can also use it to invest in ICOs, I presume, having the ICOs being reviewed on the platform. And you'll be able to pay fees for your business or ICO. And also they will be tradable on external exchanges. Right, so let's look at the token sale now. The pre-ICO starts on January the 30th and will continue on through to February 28th unless they meet their pre-sale hard cap. Pre-sale hard cap, or maximum quantity, is set at 15 million VST tokens. Their aim is to raise 2,000 Ethereum, but their high cap or hard cap is 5,000 Ethereum for the pre-sale, and 1 Ethereum will equal 3,000 VST. 3,000 VST, sorry, works out at the moment just a little over 35 cents. The main ICO will start on March the 5th and continue through to April the 4th. The maximum ICO quantity for the ICO will be 150 million VST tokens, so 10 times the amount available at pre-sale. And the smart contract VST will stop intake when they reach a hard cap of 100,000 Ether. And you can see here the price increases as the token sale continues. So depending on popularity, you could be paying as much as 1 Ether for 1,300 VST tokens, which is a fair increase over the pre-sale price. It's more than double. As you can see, there are 6 stages with a total of 100,000 Ether to be raised, or 150 million VST tokens. So 100,000 Ether is a very high amount for a project of this nature, and that does not include the pre-sale amount as well. So here we can see the distribution of the funds. This is what they're going to use it for: 45% for development, 3% bonus for developers and creators, 5% for jurisprudence, 12% for operational expenses, 15% integration of businesses, and 20% for marketing and PR. And if we see there, the token will be distributed as follows. 15 million will be allocated to the pre-ICO, 150 million to the ICO itself, giving a total of 165 million up for grabs at crowd sale. Then the PR team, Bounty and advisors will have 10 million between them, and 25 million will go to the founders. A total of 200 million tokens will be issued. No other tokens will be issued after the sale is complete. And just a note there, all tokens left after pre-ICO and ICO will be destroyed. So they are running a referral program and a bounty campaign. The referral program nets you 10% extra bonus for every spend by somebody that's been invited by you. My referral link is below as usual. Thanks to all of you using my referral links. I really do appreciate it. As I said, I don't get paid for these videos. These are done out my own pocket really, so every little bit helps, and I like my crypto, so any crypto that I get, whether it's a project I absolutely love or like or even loathe, it all matters, and I really appreciate it. So thanks for that, guys. I can't emphasize how much I do appreciate it. So moving on, let's look at the bounty campaign. They have a extensive bounty campaign running, and they are allocating 3% of the tokens from the sale. So 3% of 200 million for a signature campaign, which will get 25% of the allocation. Blogging and video campaign will get 35% of the allocation. Facebook campaign, 13% of allocation. Twitter campaign, 12% of allocation. A translations campaign, 10% of allocation, and also a Telegram campaign. I will, as usual, leave this link below for all of you that want to get involved with the bounty campaign, but it looks rather well set out and very popular. Over 44 pages now discussing it. So yeah, interest looks quite solid, and that's always a good sign. Now let's look at the roadmap, and it only started back in September 2017 with some team building, and then moving forward into October with some idea development and forming technical specification, whatever that means. December 2017 saw a design draft, and then in January this month of 2018 there was a pre-ICO and a demo version launch, which we've not seen yet. And I'm presuming that they're going to wait until after the ICO to actually build and launch the prototype, as they say on their actual website. March 2018 will come the actual ICO, the full crowd sale, the main sale, so to speak, and there will be full-scale development after that. April 2018, they're going to get listed on the markets. They will have an alpha test and launch of information professionals blocks. July 2018 will be marketing, attracting more professionals, beta testing. August 2018, they will launch the block of or for business and ICO and integrating partners. October 2018, they will move to full volume marketing. In November 2018, they hope to have over 500 shops and services providers on the platform. December 2018, they launch online offline blocks for purchasing cryptocurrency. January 2019, they estimate to have 1 million users with 2,000 shops and services. In March 2019, they're going to open in the USA and Spain. April 2019, open in Japan, China and Korea. In 2019 May, they're going to have 10 million users, 8,000 shops and services. And then 2019, they want to be the must-have app for all crypto enthusiasts. So it's an ambitious plan. Not much information about how they're going to do it, rather just this is what we want to do. So looking at the team, the advisory body has a couple of fairly well-known figures on it. Wolf Cal, who turns up as an advisor to several other crypto companies. He's ex-Goldman Sachs. And Simon Cocking, he's the editor at Crypto Coin News. He's member of the ICO Bench Experts and a business mentor. Then we've got three other advisors along with them, with experience in blockchain and also fintech. Notably, Reinhard there has been at Credit Suisse, UBS, Invesco, and looking at the team itself, they are primarily, sorry, if I can get my words out, primarily Russian, and Saeed is the Chief Executive Officer. Jainab is business development, and Alex is the smart contract developer. Now, all of them look to have little or no experience at top companies. They don't appear to have much business or entrepreneurial experience between them. So that is another concern for me. I don't think the team is very strong. I think it's something you're going to have to bear in mind, especially when you're working from a white paper ICO. We don't have any anything to go on, anything rock solid that they've actually done anything. And again, this heightens the risk of partaking in this ICO. So looking through all the documentation and also the website, it doesn't appear that they have any partnerships of note. They are working solely on their own. They don't have any company to help them with the ICO proper itself. They don't appear to have any partners in marketing or for legal, or at least they haven't disclosed any partners in those arenas. So that's a little bit of a concern for me. I like to see that they're working with already established companies that have already launched ICOs for other projects, and also been involved in the legalities and regulations as well. So a bit concerned that they don't seem to announce that, and a bit of a concern that they don't have anything about that on their website too. So onto the community. They are featured in many of the ICO websites, as you can see there. CoinHills, ICO Alert, ICO Bench. They're on nearly all of them. So they're quite well spread out. And social media wise, they're on Twitter, Facebook, Telegram, Instagram. Don't know what that is actually. Let's see. Talk. Kakao Talk, okay, must be Korean, that's interesting. And also Bitcoin Talk Forum, Medium, they've got a blog. They have 33 commits on GitHub, so they're active on there. And they also have a YouTube channel, which I haven't checked out yet. I shall do later. I normally subscribe to all the ICO YouTube channels. Let's look at their Twitter. They only have 2,271 followers. That's reasonable, but not exceptional. And on their English-speaking Telegram, they have 1,177 members. Remember, we are at pre-sale only at the moment, so we are looking at this fairly early. They've got another couple of months before their general crowd sale, so you would expect the community to build before then, but it's still okay for a pre-sale. They really should be looking at building the community, hyping this project up a little bit more so that more people hear about it. It's a fairly low-key project. It's not got a lot of hype behind it. And I think hype is going to be crucial to this being a success when it hits the exchanges. Okay, now on to the verdict section. And first of all, as usual, let's discuss the positives of this project. Now, the first positive that I saw, they have a fairly low token supply. There seem to be more and more projects coming out, launching at ICO with billions upon billions of tokens. So it's quite refreshing to see a project with a fairly low token supply. And at current prices of the pre-ICO, it represents fairly good value, given that there's 200 million total and only 165 million will actually be sold between the pre-ICO and the main sale itself. Number two, they have a couple of prominent advisors. Simon Cocking's one of them, and I think they're going to be needed to advance this project. If this project aims to succeed, the advisors are going to be very important here, as the team doesn't have much experience and hasn't worked at the top levels of corporate business. So advisors here are going to drive the project and are going to be very important and contribute to its success. Number three, I like the fact that they're focused on cryptocurrency enthusiasts. I like the fact they're not just trying to go for mass adoption or a market that isn't really there at the moment. So by focusing on cryptocurrency enthusiasts and people that hold cryptocurrency and people that use it and want to spend it, they're actually they've got a captive market, and that's really they've shown that they've recognized where their strengths lie is in that where their user base is going to come from is going to be primarily cryptocurrency enthusiasts, and that's important. It shows that they understand what they're trying to do. And number four, they could solve some problems within the crypto space. At the moment, there's a lot of problems with ICOs, a lot of fake ICOs, a lot of bullshit ICOs out there, and they could solve that by discussing it on their platform, allowing them to launch on their platform, and getting investors through the platform to invest. So it will sort of weed out the garbage, as they say in the white paper, and allow the decent ICOs to prosper, which I think is one problem, and they do solve some others. Although ICOs are probably the biggest one at the moment. Now on to the negatives. There are quite a few with this project. I'm not going to pull any punches, I never do. There is a lot of mistakes in the written material, and I'm not just talking about the English. I mean, obviously, you know, the guy that wrote the white paper, the CEO, Saeed, I think his name is. He's English is not his first language, so I'm not going to hold that against him. He's done a very good job as far as I'm concerned. It's not the greatest white paper in the world, but for a non-English speaker, that's acceptable. The problem is, a project of this nature, looking to raise the amount of money they are, you got to get a spell checker. You got to go through your material. Now, when I see mistakes, grammar mistakes, spelling mistakes, that's basic mistakes, and it puts me off investing in any project when I see that. Again, it's about attention to detail, and this project lacks that. As such, the project feels rushed. It doesn't feel planned at all. It feels like they've just tried to sort of cobble it together. They should have really held back, built a demo, built a prototype, and then we could see the potential. Then if they had a demo or a prototype, this project would have scored way higher. I have to go through my my scoring metrics, and I have a score metric. I'm not going to tell you how I do it, but I take different things into account, and I award a score for the final out of 5 score that I give these ICOs. And this one lost a lot of score because of the amount of negatives, and the main one is having a working product, or at least an MVP. And again, not having that, the score comes down. Another negative that I saw here was the only real good investment here is to invest at pre-sale. Waiting to see if it gets hyped up and waiting till the main sale, it might cost you some money. It might not be as good as an investment. And again, high token costs at the later stages of the ICO are over double what you'll pay in the pre-sale. So that is a definite negative for me. Number 5, they have a very, very high hard cap of over $100 million. I have no idea why they think they need to raise that amount of money. That's ridiculously high for a project of this nature. And again, we don't have anything to warrant giving them that amount of money at the moment. Let's be honest, let's be realistic here. So number 6, it is a competitive space. There are a lot of companies doing marketplaces and trying to be the next eBay or trying to be the next market for cryptocurrency. So it's going to get very heated, and not many of these will survive. Most of them, 99% of them, will fall by the wayside, and that is a negative. You really want to be looking for projects that are unique, that have a unique selling point. And yes, they've tried to expand their business plan to include ICOs and specialists and developers, and to be able to have a community as well with a chat and everything else. But is that enough? Is that enough to drive this to success? Time will tell. But again, having a lot of competitors out there is a negative for this ICO. And number 7, and I've mentioned it already, the team has no proven track record or experience at top level business. They have not been successful entrepreneurs before. They've never run their own businesses before, as far as I can tell, or any successful ones anyway. They are obviously quite young. Yep, ambitious, and that's a good thing. But you need to have a proven record to make me want to part with my money. The other thing I didn't like was a vague and wish list roadmap, and what I mean by that is their roadmap is basically a wish list of how many users they're going to have by a certain date, or how many people are going to download the app, or how much money they're going to make. That isn't what a roadmap should be. A roadmap should be planning how you're driving your business forward, what technology you're going to implement, what other stuff you're doing at any given time. Have a structured plan moving forward, and that doesn't seem to exist here. And even it's evident from the white paper as well, not mentioning any blockchain technology or anything else. It means that they haven't really thought anything through. Number 9, they don't have any partners, and I think in cases like this, the minimum partnership requirements would be people dealing with their legal issues, or ICO, running the ICO for them. Not having any partners announced isn't really that conducive to building confidence in this project. They really need to go to experienced companies that are, like For example, I'm not suggesting they should use these, but for example, Bitcoin Suisse or some of these other ones, you know, partner with them so that it gives investors a little bit of confidence that the ICO is going to go off pretty much as intended. And number 10, sorry, there's not enough hype behind this ICO yet. Maybe it will have it by the time the main sale kicks off in March, but at the moment there just isn't enough people supporting it, behind it to drive it. And again, it's you know, it's going to rely on that because success of this ICO will be pretty much entirely dependent on user adoption of the platform. Otherwise, it's going to fritter away, and it will be a longer term. It will be a poor investment. So all that taken into consideration, what's my final verdict for this ICO? Well, as a white paper ICO only, it poses a risk for investment at this early stage. And as such, I can only award it 2 out of 5 stars. Now, when I first saw this project, it first came to my attention, I thought it was a very good idea. I liked it. But further research into the project, and this is why I do these reviews, guys. You know, I don't just throw darts at a dartboard and hope they stick. I do reviews so that I can give you the best and more up-to-date information that you need to make your decisions. You know, I'm not a financial advisor. I always say that. This is just my opinion. But if it helps you in making decisions, then good. That was my intention. So the reasons this scored so low, again, we just have to go through it. There's no minimum viable product, no working demo, no prototype yet. They've got a very high hard cap. The team's not very experienced, and it's very risky. However, as I say, if you're willing to take the risk and invest here, there's potential. But for me, I'm going to pass on this one. I think it presents too much of a risk at this early stage of investment. And I'll have to reiterate as well, during the pre-sale is probably the only time that this presents any sort of investment opportunity whatsoever, because by the time the main sale comes along, you'll be paying more than double for the tokens in some cases. So just bear that in mind. So that's my review of Vestarin. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please like and please subscribe. Thanks for watching as usual. Usual disclaimers, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes only. If you're going to invest in ICO, please be aware there's no guarantee of making any money with ICOs. It is a risk. And if you're going to invest, always invest what you can afford to lose. Invest wisely, invest cautiously, and do your own due diligence, do your own research. Yeah, that's that disclaimer done. My other one, as usual, is I don't get paid for these reviews. I don't do sponsored reviews, and I don't do paid reviews either. So thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another ICO review. Let me know what you think of Vestarin in the comments below, and I'll see you tomorrow.